Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast is the Darkest Timeline, and we're talking, I hate to say it, Christmas. This was recorded in the week between Christmas and New Year, so if you're well and truly done with Christmas, I'm sorry, but we're back. We're talking about enjoying the quiet time of Christmas. Not enjoying Christmas. Awesome gifts, and not quite getting everything you want. TV, movies, VR games, and other computer games are all here as well. Before we get started, please do consider like, share, subscribe, and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. Obviously, the one we like the most is share that podcast around. If you are listening to this and you think, that's alright, maybe somebody else will think the same. So share the podcast around, people. Right. Here we go. This is CookieCast, the Darkest Timeline. Oh! How you doing? Well, that looks very loud. Am I shouting? I don't feel like I'm shouting. Oh, it is an hour later than it's supposed to be right now. And that is because technology is a wonderful thing. And no, I'm not being sarcastic. Fully. Plugged in the old, a Christmas gift that I definitely didn't buy myself. And, why is it so loud? Hang on. Is it this guy? Is this guy the problem? No? No? Okay. Well, maybe I'm just loud today. He says. Knowing today is a bit of a exaggeration. Yes, I definitely bought myself a Christmas gift of a new mouse for the computer. I am the kind of person who will happily complain about said computer mouse, the previous computer mouse, for, I'm going to say it's 2 years, and I think we all know that that is probably lowballing it. Complain about it week in, week out, day in, day out sometimes, but ultimately never do anything about it. In replacing said computer mouse, pretty sure I found a multitude of different ways I could have corrected the current mouse. And I'm like, why didn't I do any of this originally? And that right there is a little trip inside my psyche. You will get this podcast in like 3 weeks' time, which is very much one of those things that, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of Christmas-related things here. So I do apologise. I had thought about doing a thing where I started moving some podcasts around, shaking some up, bringing things a little further forward. But in the world of podcasting, a buffer is always a good idea. So for that reason, I will apologise. And knowing at the point in time you'll get this podcast, what I will say to you is this. It's a particularly rough time of year. We're going to talk about another rough time of year. It's especially important to reach out wherever you need to reach out to. You can reach out to us here at the podcast if you want to talk to somebody that is less connected to you as a person, but is still very much willing to have a conversation with you. Absolutely no issues doing that. There's a multitude of different ways you can contact any of us here at the podcast. Please do reach out. If you don't want to reach out to us, reach out to anybody that you can in any way, shape or form. Saying hi to somebody could be the difference. So it's a bad time of year. Those first couple of months of the year, they're rough going. I used to plan around them and plan for fun and exciting things to happen in the first couple of months of the year, because they are just so, I don't know, long, I guess. If you feel the need, even if you don't feel the need, but you think, there might be something going on with you as a person, reach out to somebody. So, this podcast is the post-Christmas podcast. Wow, it came and went. And I went back to work today. Admittedly, just today. I'm not at work tomorrow or for the next couple of days after that. And then I return to work for one more day. And then it's the weekend. And then, that Monday's going to be rough. That first Monday back. Christmas is gone. New Year's is gone. And you just remember that, oh yeah, this is what we do. Life. So, as I've not had a chance to catch up with you, how was your Christmas? How was your New Year? You could answer that, because although it's not happened for me yet, it will have happened for you. But for the sake of this podcast, we're going to get into Christmas. Unfortunately, because of who I am and the way I operate, I do need to caveat this podcast. It's a journey. We're all on a journey of some description. This podcast is a journey, and it's going to take us places we might not want to go. But I promise you, the bad guy gets his comeuppance, and we end. Damn it. I thought we were going to end on a good note, but in actual fact, I've just looked at the list and remembered that I added something, which is a bit of a, I was going to say a Larry Downer. No, it's a Donnie Downer. Damn it, I can't remember. So, obviously, you've got to go back in time with me now to anywhere between Monday, which was the 23rd? 22nd? It was before Christmas. When I last recorded a podcast. And now, obviously, Christmas has been and gone. So, Christmas Eve was the Wednesday. So, Tuesday, I set the dog for a walk in the evening. And it's dark, as it is this time of year. Although, getting lighter now, lighter mornings, lighter evenings, etc. It was light when I came home from work, which I think is the first time in weeks at this point. It wasn't light, but, there was light. So I took the dog for a walk in the dark. He's got his reflective on, he's got his light up collar on, all of that. I'm there, dressed in black. I don't want to say, like Batman, but if you want to say it, sure. And we're out, we're walking. And where I live, super busy area, real busy. I live in an area that is largely populated at certain times of the year by a student population, shall we say. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, for want of a better way of putting it. It gets worse and worse as the years go on. Every year it's got worse. This year, between September and now, has been absolutely categorically the worst it's ever been. It gets worse every year, and it's just worse and worse, to the point that it is a bustling, like a mini hub of sorts. There's just, when you go out the door, there's just people everywhere. Buses flying around. Every bus stop there's people at. Every bus stop there's people getting off at, getting on at. There's just people everywhere. And for want of a better way of putting it, not the most courteous of people. I guess they just don't have all that much time for a man and his dog. So, because me and the dog are out there a lot, twice a day, every day, mostly, we see a lot of these people a lot of the time. Fast forward to just before Christmas, and everybody's left. Everybody's gone. Couple that with all the kids and all the parents not needing to get out there and, you know, get to and from school or after school activities or any of that stuff. It's all done and dusted. And with Christmas mere days away at that point in time, everybody's kind of like, you know, hunkering down. There's a lot of activity, but a lot of that activity is generally sort of indoor based. So, me and the dog go out into the world, and we get out on the main road. Not a car in sight. Now, honestly, that's never a situation. Never a situation. Even in the summer holidays, kids are off school. Students have left. But ultimately, people are still working, still out and about. And never a situation where there's no cars. No cars. It was, you know, novel. So we go off down the main road, no cars. The entire time we're down there, no cars. We go around the corner, we walk down the street. In a way, a quieter area, but not in the majority of the time. It's very busy. It's very, you know, people everywhere, a lot of bustling, and nothing, no one, quiet. And we walk down the road, and we get around the corner, another corner, onto another very busy at certain times of day. Not necessarily as much as when me and the dog are out, but I am down that road quite a lot. And it's just cars and gridlock traffic and people, and it's just busy. Nothing. No one. Quiet. By this point, I've sort of settled into this, and I'm like, it's so nice. Oh, it's so calm. It's so peaceful. It's so quiet. It feels like the world, obviously not, but like the world around me, the dog at that moment in time, was for one moment, for one brief moment, just relaxed. Was just breathing. Was just taking a beat. Just taking a minute. Just stepping away from the just insanity of it all, the hustle, the bustle, the gotta get here, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta get the whatever, gotta do the whatever, just the chaos of it all. Just nothing. This was just before Christmas. There was a day where I think it was Boxing Day. Me and the dog go for a walk in the evening. And we're walking down, same street, we're walking down. And by the time I'd walked to the end of the street, I was like, I counted 4 houses with their lights on. Every other house was in pitch black. And again, it was like, oh, so nice. You think, Christmas time people go to visit family, and Boxing Day is a big day to visit family, especially those people like, oh, we're going to stay at home this year, but we'll come see it, we'll come see on Boxing Day. Those people, those families are out there doing their visiting thing. And, the 4 houses that had lights on had 10 cars parked outside. So, you've got that contrast. But my word, it was like there was nobody. It's like there was an episode of Johnny Bravo, which I think was a parody of a Twilight Zone episode where the world is frozen and Johnny Bravo believes he's the only person left alive. I think it was the guy who breaks his glasses. He drops his glasses, and I want to say The Simpsons did a parody of that where the guy drops his glasses, the glasses breaks, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine, I can read Braille," and then his hands fall off. It felt like that. It felt like that only person, last man alive, I am legend kind of situation where you're just out there and there's no one else. I didn't see a single person, didn't see a single dog, didn't see a single, the people that were obviously out there were well and truly in a house and, whatever. And it was just so nice, so enjoyable. Like, even simple things are like, I got up today and I went out to run and not many people out and about, and then I get back and I get showered and sorted and ready to go to work, knowing full well that when I get out there and get in the car and go, it's gonna be plain sailing. Because not many people are going back to work today. The students still aren't here. The children aren't at school. Nobody needs to be out there in the world. There was 5 people on my team today. 2 of them went home at lunchtime. So by the end of the day, there was 3 people and our head of. That was it. And it was nice. It was a little bit too quiet at points, but it's still nice. So it's nice to take a breath, take a breather, enjoy the quiet. Knowing full well that, like I say, come next Monday, come a week today, back to the chaos. A week on Tuesday, while the kids go back to school, always going to be just a whole different world. I remember saying the back end of the summer holidays, I didn't want the kids to go back to school. I don't like the kids going back to school. There's an aspect where I like the fact that I get to see 3 or 4 of my children when they're at school at various different intervals. But I'd just rather they were at home. I had this massive there are certain words I don't like to use. There are certain phrases I don't like to use. There are certain things that I feel are overused and over-prescribed, not in a prescription sense, just in maybe over-subscribed. And I feel that personally, the way I am, I do understand that these things are real when they are real. But because of their overuse, I think that they are generally just used to excuse a lot of stuff. So those are words and phrases and terms and situations that I don't use. However, if I did, I would say that I felt like I experienced something like what people describe, panic attack, anxiety attack, whatever. Yesterday, and it was around not all the children being here and the realization that they'll go back to school at some point and it's going back to work and going back to life, and it was all just too much on a day when we had a great time. So, nice to take a breather, nice to take a beat, nice to take a moment. This is the point in time where I will refer back to my earlier caveat around this podcast. Just bear in mind what I'm about to say. It may be a red herring. I don't want people to be like, oh, geez, here he is, because it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Let's put it that way. I think I hate Christmas. I think I might actually hate it. Anybody who's listened to this, I'm very much aware that we were entering into a situation where I was just going to be rinse and repeating the last end of December going into January podcast for the last 5, 6, 7 years, whatever. Just me going, I fucking hate this shit. But anybody that's been listening for more than 5 minutes, a year or so, will know that each year that's gone by, I have tried. There was a couple of years where I was really trying, and I felt like I was really getting into it, and I was really sort of like, oh, it's not too bad, and it's all a front. It's all a front. And this year, I decided I couldn't bring myself to put that front on. I have had too much sadness, too much disappointment, too much. It's been a rough year in a lot of ways. There have been a lot of things that have been difficult. Things that are really difficult to deal with. Things that I haven't dealt with and processed and been able to. Things where you go, I just can't. And then you get to Christmas and you're like, I fucking hate this and I fucking hate that and I fucking hate the other. And it as each day goes on, it gets worse and worse and worse. And then you're dealing with each individual part of it and you're like, this is fucking bullshit. And there's so many pieces to it where previously, years gone by, I've really tried to put, on Christmas Eve, I'm getting sorted for the day and I'm going to bed and I'm like, you're going to be in a good mood tomorrow. You're going to be a good dad. You're going to be a good person. You're going to be a good this and a good that and a good the other. And you're going to try hard and work hard and put a smile on and blah, 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 blah. And at some point in the process, I went, why? Why? Why should I? For what reason? What's the fucking point? Why bother? And then, I look at all the gifts that are laid out. 4 kids on Christmas. I look at all the gifts laid out, knowing full well that I've got stuff for Leanne, and she's already said like, oh, you've got a lot of things, and I'm like, okay, and I've got like Leanne's mum, and Leanne's mum's got gifts, and then there's like other grandparent gifts, and all of this, and I'm like, I can't breathe, and I feel like the walls are closing in, and not the walls, the mountain of gifts. I feel like they're going to collapse in on me and I'm going to be buried alive. And just the level of consumerism around the time of year, and you need to buy this and you need to have that, and like talking to Leanne, and she's like, oh, we have to get this and we have to get that and we have to get the other, and we need a Christmas pudding and a Christmas cake and a Christmas cracker and a Christmas card. And I'm like, well, you can put the Christmas cake and the Christmas pudding with last year's. And there's this whole thing about wrapping paper. There's never enough wrapping paper. We need more wrapping paper. Gotta get more wrapping. Gotta get the same wrapping paper because these presents have been wrapped in this paper and that present's been wrapped in that paper. I fucking hate wrapping paper. Wrapping paper and cards. I hate them. They are just waste. It's just waste. The fucking wrapping paper, I don't know, corporation must be rubbing their hands together at just the sheer insanity of that process. Buy a big roll of wrapping paper, wrap something in it, which 24 hours later gets torn off and thrown in the bin. Talk about wasteful. I'd seen something at some point in time where somebody was like, I don't believe in wrapping paper, so here's a box, and I'm going to put your gift in the box. You're going to open the box, you're going to take the gift out, you're going to go, oh, nice one, cheers. You're going to give me the box back, I'm going to put your next gift in it, and we're going to do that all the way through your gifts. And I was like, that's fucking genius. Somebody said to me, a friend of mine said to me the other day that they had these like reusable bags. They were like, you put the gifts in the bag, give them the gift, they open the bag, out comes the gift, and you ask for the bag back because you can reuse it next time. And I'm like, I'm all for that. So you got that. There's that side of things. You've got the fact that I've got 4 children of all different ages. I've got the older child. Congratulations and welcome to the teenage years, where they couldn't give less of a shit about the presents, the day, the food, any part of it. It's just I don't care, and I'm like, cool. We're doing teenager stuff. Great time. You've got the. I honestly, I think it's like the other 3. You've got the. I need to open a gift. Okay, open it. Oh wow, cool. I need to open a gift. Did you look at the gift you opened? Yeah, I did. I need to open another gift. Okay, well, take a minute, take a beat, have a look. Take it in turns. Well, it's my turn now. Okay, you open a gift then. It's your turn. Okay, can I open another one? You just where did that go? And each of these gifts they open, I'm like, that's fucking cool. That's cool. Oh wow, look at that. That's cool. I put more effort into looking at these things and going, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's really good. You'll really like that. You know, not enough to take it in or appreciate it in any way, shape, or form. Don't even get me started on the level of appreciation. The level of appreciation, the non-existent. I have 4 children. All 4 children, I said to them, make sure you say thank you to Leanne for your gifts. She's gone through a lot of trouble, a lot of effort, put a lot of time, a lot of money's gone into it. Make sure you say thank you to Leanne for your gifts. All 4 of those children said, thank you for my gifts, and thank you for Christmas, and thank you for this, and thank you for that. There you go. Not a single one of those children has thanked me for anything. Now, I know what you're thinking. However, I listened to a podcast a few weeks back, and I was talking about how, as parents, we have this firm belief that our children owe us something. In actual fact, our children don't owe us anything. Anything at all. So when you're like, you never said thank you for this, and you never said thank you for that, and you didn't appreciate that thing I did for you, and you don't appreciate the money spent, they don't owe you anything. Now, if I hadn't have listened to that podcast, I would have been going absolutely fucking apeshit about the Christmas situation. But, luckily for everybody involved, I did listen to that podcast, and I was like, you know something? I think you're right. I don't think they owe me anything. So, bullet dodged there. I reached the point just before Christmas where I was like, maybe I need to watch like some bullshit Christmas movies. I teed up It's a Wonderful Life. Now, anybody that knows me or knows my family will understand the irony of that statement. I didn't get around to watching it, and I don't actually think I would have watched it in the end. Not the best theme for this Christmas. But at one point, I'd convinced myself that I needed to watch them. You know, the bullshit Christmas movies, like the Arnie one, the Jingle All the Way. I only saw that like 2 or 3 years ago, and I thought it was one of the worst films I'd ever seen. But there was some part of me that was like, maybe I need to watch that. That'll get me in the spirit. Like, also, like, I was like, I need to, the kids watched the Grinch, the animated Grinch, about 10 times. I think that's an understatement. They watched that Christmas, which was, I think, last year. It came out on Netflix, I think. They watched that Christmas 5 or 6 times. I was around for a lot of those. By the time I'd seen the Grinch 4 times, I was like, he's got a fucking point. I don't think the moral of the story is to agree with the Grinch, but they have reworked the Grinch story to the point where I'm like, I agree. I think he's right. Why is he the villain? Why is he the bad guy? He's the good guy. He's the good guy of the story. He takes all of the stuff away because all they care about is the toys and the gifts and the consumerism of it all. That's even in there. In the animated version, it talks about the consumerism, and he takes it all away. But what he gives them back is the memory. He reminds them that Christmas isn't about all the gifts and the trees and the turkey and all of that. It's about togetherness. And as every version of the Grinch goes, at the end of it, they are together and they are singing and they are enjoying their time together. That's the fucking point. I'm pretty sure the Grinch is the good guy. Especially when he returns at the end and brings all the presents back, and then in the animated one, he helps out that family. Honestly, the number of times I saw that film over the holidays, I was like, he's absolutely the good guy. And you know what? That's not the moral of the story. At least I don't think it is. I honestly can't find what the moral of that version is. I think that is the moral. He is the good guy. So, I couldn't get into the spirit, and I just gave up. In the end, I just gave up. I went, I'm done here. I'm done. And I was like, I kept saying to them, I was like, we're not doing this anymore. Like, next year, it's cancelled. And she was like, she basically told me to go fuck myself. And I'm like, I'm done with this. We're not doing this anymore. Next year, we're going to do small gifts, small Christmas. And the year after, we're going to do just a small, like no more than 10 gifts, no more than like this much money, and no more of this. It has to stop. And she was like, no, absolutely not. You're not doing that. And I was like, well, whatever. I'm out. And that was that. That was Christmas. There we go. That's Christmas. Or was it? So, there's me. Christmas done and dusted. Now, this is where time's going to jump around, so follow along best you can, because we have to go forwards in time to go back, because I've kind of buried the lead for a purpose, to highlight some stuff. So, somebody's locked my chair again. There we go. So, I'm going to take you forwards so we can go backwards. Everybody remember how I always tried to lose weight in December? Well, this year, don't want to be, I'm not trying to be cocky or a dick or any of those sort of things, but I'd done it in the first week. Okay? So the second week, was up and down. Third week, up and down. Still keeping it in the zone. Come Christmas Day, everybody's eating Christmas dinner, let's put it that way. And that was that. Done. Boxing Day. I didn't have anything to eat. But I didn't overindulge on Christmas Day. I just had, I think I had a pastry as a treat for breakfast. I don't have breakfast normally. So, Christmas treat. I had my Christmas dinner, and I had a second helping of Christmas dinner. And then in the evening, I had a couple of vegetarian pigs in blankets and like a cold roast potato, maybe a bit of stuffing or something. So over the course of the day, I'd had like 1.5 dinners and a pastry. Chances are, I probably had, I don't know, let's keep it nice and even. I probably had my daily calorie allowance. There we go. Boxing Day, nothing. I'm like, let's clear the decks. Don't need to eat anything. I've had a big meal. So, trying to work it out. Wednesday, Christmas Eve. Thursday, Christmas Day. I think there was some like fasting, maybe the Wednesday, Christmas Day, the Thursday, fasting on the Friday. Saturday rolls round, and I know what happened Saturday. Saturday, because it was an eating day, I had some food in the middle of the day. I had like all these bits and bobs of food in the middle of the day. It was fine, but it was enough. And come tea time, I'm not hungry. And I'm a bit like, some of the stuff I ate was a little bit cheeky. My eldest made some tiffin, and I had a couple of pieces of tiffin, and I'd eaten some of the ingredients for the tiffin, and, you know, a little bit, cut loose a little bit, all that sort of stuff. And I'd had some like bits and bobs here and there, but it was an eating day, not a fasting day, and blah, blah, blah. Gets tea time. I don't need any tea. Gets to really late. And this is naughty. I'm hungry. And I'm like, fuck it, it's Christmas, fucking Christmas, fuck it. And I had half a bag of crisps. And that was it. I get up on Sunday, yesterday. I weigh 6 ounces more than I did on Saturday, and Sunday's a fasting day to take me through to Monday, and I am hungry. Hadn't eaten all that much Saturday. Hadn't, you know, even though I'd eaten something late at night, which is a criminal offence nowadays. It wasn't a huge amount. Even the crisps I ate were like, you know, what's it? And I ended up 6 ounces over what I started Saturday, and literally like a couple of pounds over what I was Christmas Day. I've been having like conversations with like a couple of friends. I've had conversations, and I've been listening to podcasts, and the subject is all around like this very clear message. And the clear message is, it's Christmas. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can eat whatever the fuck you want. You can drink whatever the fuck you want. You can put on as many pounds as you want. And I'm there going, well, you're wrong. It's a fucking work day. And by that I mean it's a day where you still need to get your exercise in, watch your calories, don't go crazy, because this is the time of the year that you can absolutely fuck everything up. So I'm on it. I'm on point. Short version is, I weigh in today at what is not the lowest I've ever been, but it's like a couple of pounds away from the lowest I've ever been at the end of Christmas week. Now, there's a part of you that thinks, I mean, that's pretty good going. Christmas time. Well done, you. Okay. There's a part of you that goes, was it worth it? Was it really worth it? Because I've had 2 mince pies in December. It used to be my thing to eat a mince pie a day, minimum. I didn't have any special cheese until this evening. And this evening I had 2 slithers of special Christmas cheese with my high protein tea. I've had no Christmas cake, no Christmas pudding, no Yule logs, no cheese and crackers, no crazy drinks. Literally all of those things that you sort of aim towards at Christmas, I've not done. Again, on one hand, it's great, it's wonderful. You really stuck to it, you really stuck to your guns. On the other hand, yeah, but you also really missed out at the only time of year when you can do these things. Our Christmas cake on the side in the kitchen is last year's Christmas cake. It's 8 months out of date. It's sitting next to this year's Christmas cake. Because the only person that eats Christmas cake is me. Don't get me started on the Christmas puddings, because there's 2 this year. They are sat next to last year's Christmas pudding. Probably out of date. Was this the plan? Was this the idea? The Yule log got broken out this evening. Apparently it was stale. Was this the plan? Was this the point? Was the point to come in at one of the lowest weights of this year? Well, yes, but I feel like I maybe missed out. And here's the problem. The theory of missing out is absolutely where things go wrong. I have put on more weight in January and February in the years gone by than at any other point in time, because I'm really good in December. I was really good. I lost a stone in December. I did really well. Yeah, but you put 3 stone on in January and February, didn't you, fat boy? So how good were you? How much did you achieve? So now I'm like, what do I do now? I feel like I may have missed out. And that is the start of our Christmas lesson, children, because it's time to go back in time. I'm going to go back in time to Christmas Day. You remember? I'm there and I'm like, fuck Christmas. These fucking ungrateful kids. All that work I did. All that money I spent. Every hour of every day earning the pennies to pay for all of this. They don't fucking care. They don't give a shit. Someone's like, oh, you haven't opened any gift. I don't care. Not bothered. Well, no, you haven't opened any, though. You know, you've opened, like, I think early on I opened something that was, like, some new workout clothes. Speaking of, can I just check something? Small people clothes. I don't mean children. I mean people that aren't fat, like I was. Are all of the clothes for people that aren't fat, like, really restricted? I got a series of clothes in a smaller size, like a real small size, the kind that freaks me out massively. And I put them on and I'm like, I mean, these clothes fit, which is freaking me out somewhat, but at the same time, I feel like I can't breathe in anything. But not because I'm like, well, it fits, but it's a bit tight. No, it's not. It's just, It's how you people walk around. Just uncomfortable. Skinny people, hit me up, let me know. Not that I'm saying I'm skinny, I'm just saying, as I was explaining to my eldest daughter, I've never been in the size clothes that I am in now. Never in my entire life, because I went from my clothing size was in ages, and then I was in extra large. That is no joke. My clothing size was in ages, and then it was extra large. Just think about that for a minute. So, Christmas Day night. You haven't opened any gifts. I don't give a shit. I haven't opened any gifts. So what? I was like, I've opened this. It's, some shorts and some leggings. Yes, I said leggings. So what? That's my winter workout wear. Thank you very much. You should open something. I'm sure I should. So, there's a lot of backwards and forwards, and the kids are winding up their rampant opening of stuff they don't care about. Leanna's very little to open, but has been opening stuff because I cleverly put that they were from the children. So she has to open them. She has no excuse. Ha ha ha. Aren't I clever? And there's this trickle effect. I open this, and this is from this child. So after a while, I'm a bit like, I can't really get away from it. When you're miserable, but you've got kids and family, so you can't be miserable, but you are like, meh, whatever, fucking Christmas. Whilst also being like, what did you get? Oh, that looks nice. Oh, that's good. It was that contrast. Oh, why don't you open this? And I'm like, okay, fine. And I open something, and I look and I'm like, what's this? All right, that's cool. And then I opened another thing. I'm like, that's that thing I asked for that I really, 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 really wanted. Oh, thanks, I appreciate that. Why don't you open another one? Oh, okay, I'll open another one. Oh, wow, that's that thing I wanted. I can't believe you got me that, because I really wanted that, but I didn't expect to get it, and, that's cool. Oh, it's really good as well. I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and that's really nice. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Oh, this is from one of your children. There you go. All right, thank you. And you open it, and it's a lovely gift from a child. And you're like, that's nice, is that? And then you start opening more and more gifts, and each of the gifts is more and more awesome, and you're like, that's that thing I wanted, and oh my god, I can't believe I got this, oh wow, that's amazing, and the pile gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're like, oh no, what is happening right now? Because you realise that, I have this problem. I have a tendency to rely on a very simple thing. Leanne only ever wants one gift, and that one gift is massive. And when I say massive, I don't mean in size, because in size, it's teeny tiny. What I mean is, it's, for want of a better way of putting it, its value, what it means to her, its use, and all of the things it encompasses is massive. But the item itself is tiny. I have to buy additional items to put it in, just to make it more. So I fall back on that gift. I go, that gift cost an absolute fortune, and I water an amount of money. It means a massive amount to her. It gives her this level of freedom that I will never know, and so on and so forth. However, we have 4 children, and those children need to be able to give gifts, and we can't all hold a tiny item and give it to her. So I always go with, what else do you need? Nothing. Yeah, but what else do you need? Nothing. We've got 4 children. What do you need? Well, if you really need to get me something, I need a pair of leggings. If you really need to get me something, I need a top. If you really need to get me something, here's a blender. So, because I'm relying on this massive gift, I just get these like bits and bobs, like things here and there, and just like there, I wrap them there from the kids. More and more time passes, and more gifts are open. And I remember that upstairs on the landing, there's these two massive boxes that I know are mine because they say on the side what they are, and I also know how much they cost. And I go, oh no, there are so many things here. Now, I will reference back to the consumerism side of Christmas, but bear with me. So many things, and they're all awesome. They're all so good. Like, I was so spoiled. I say this every year. There's never been a year where I'm like, I didn't really get anything this year. Never happens. There's so much stuff. It's all fantastic. It's great. It's wonderful. It's exactly what I wanted. It's what I asked for. Yes, I'm a child when it comes to, I have a Christmas list. And when it comes around to my birthday, I'll have a birthday list because I'm just this vacuous black hole of, never been truly fulfilled. And I get to the end and there's this like pile of stuff and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I feel like a child. And I go and I say to Leanne, I'm like, look, all of those gifts are amazing. There's far too much. There was one, I opened a present and I was like, I told you not to buy this. I told you to not buy this because it was too expensive. Wildly too expensive. It's not okay. Don't you worry about I didn't pay that sum. I would never pay that kind of money. And you really wanted it. And I'm like, yes, I did really want it. But I told you specifically to not buy it. And then I felt bad. And I felt really bad because it's not about the gifts. It's not about that stuff. It's about the telling people and the people you care about, your loved ones, what they mean to you. And what they mean to you is that you think enough of them that you go, you want this thing will make you happy. I want to get that for you because I want you to be happy. And it's that. And as the days wore on and the kids opened the stuff, my son had asked for this thing. It was the only thing. If you asked him what he wanted for Christmas, it's the only thing he said. He got something else. Now that's an understatement, but bear with me. He got the thing he wanted. He got the thing he asked for, but he got something else. It was smaller, but it was more relevant to something that he's been into recently. It's the greatest gift he's ever had. It's the most fantastic gift he's ever had. He's played with it so much. And I'm like, that's what Christmas is about. What Christmas is about is that he got something that he enjoys and he loves it and he plays with it. And to hear the sound of him playing. When you hear him, you're in another room and you can hear him playing. And he's like, it's so animated and it's so full of this imagination and joy. And that's the Christmas. And then I'm upstairs, I'm in one of the children's bedroom and I can hear the other two smaller guys in the other bedroom. And I'm in hysterics listening to them having the absolute best time of their lives. And what I can say is this. Girls are weird. As a man and as once a boy, you have this picture, this image of girls in your mind. Your boy is your slugs and snails and puppy dog's tails, and your girls are what the fuck? Sugar, spice, and all things nice. Those are your girls. Those are your boys. Listen to girls. They are just bonkers, was probably the best way I could describe it. At one point, I stuck my head around the door and I was like, and they're there putting makeup on, talking absolute shit to each other. And I'm like, you guys are hilarious. And that's Christmas. And my eldest has basically just ticked off each of the gifts that she got. And she was on a fucking mission. It was like, I need to do this, and then I need to do this, and then I need to do this. And while I do that, I'm going to be wearing all of these items of clothing. And when I go here, I'm going to take this with me because I got that, and I'm going to use this because I got this. And I go, oh, the appreciation isn't, oh, thank you for my Christmas, because I really appreciate it. The appreciation is, I'm wearing this item of clothing. I'm using this when I go climbing. I'm using this while I'm at climbing. I'm coming home from climbing and I'm doing this. And I'm doing this activity. And this activity is great. And I'm enjoying this and I'm doing this. And that's Christmas. Now, something I haven't written down, which I absolutely am kicking myself right now, I'm going to go through, because there's one thing left to sour. In fact, no. Let's finish on a high. Let me sour things now. Okay. Because I have a Christmas list, like a child. I did a mental checklist after Christmas. Did I get everything I wanted for Christmas? Yes. Wait. No, I didn't. No. Hang on a minute. I didn't get everything I wanted for Christmas. This is a travesty. Yes, that's how much of a child I am. I didn't get a computer game. Now, we'll ignore all the computer games I did get. We'll ignore all the Meta credit, Steam credit, PlayStation credit that I did get for Christmas. I'm going to ignore all of that. We're going to focus solely on the one game that I didn't get. I can't believe it. I'm mortified. I told people I was getting it. I told people I'd ask Father Christmas for this one particular game. Well, I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to get it. I have to find... I've got some credit there in the PlayStation thing, and I can get some more credit because it's on sale, and I've got a discount code, and I can do that. But do I want to be spending that kind of money at this point in time? And there's a sale on... Oh, okay. Oh, and there's a sale on that, and I can get that for cheap. And if I go there and I can do it... I do my monkey magic. I get the cheap credit. I get the cheap thing. I use the discount code. I use the store credit that I've also got. I get the money down, all the way down. I get the code. I get the credit. I put the credit on the account. I use the credit on the account to buy the game, which is on sale. I get it. I buy it. I install it. Boom. Whew. Dodged a bullet there, guys. Dodged a bullet right there. Bullet dodged. I can breathe. I mean, there was that game I did. There was the game I got on the Quest that I'll talk about in a bit. Yeah, I got that. There's the 2 physical games that I got for the PlayStation. Talk about that. There was the fact I bought all those games in the sale in the December sales. I bought all those games, and I've got a game on Steam that I was supposed to play after I finished Chronos for the 3rd time, and I got credit on Steam to get a game if I need to, but I'm waiting for a VR game that's going to come out on the PC, so I need the credit to get that, but that's there waiting for me to get that. And when am I going to play all these games because it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm not playing computer games right now. I'm talking to you, lovely people. I'm probably not going to play anything this evening. I've got a podcast to do tomorrow. It's late, and by the time I've recorded it, coded it, uploaded it, got it sorted and done and dusted, it will be time for me to go to bed. No computer games there. Wednesday is a whole day with the children. Not entirely sure if I'll get around to playing computer games in the evening, but maybe. But is it going to be a game that I've played 3 times now? We'll come to that in a bit. It's a long story. I'll explain. Thursday is New Year's Day. Who knows what the fuck's going to happen on New Year's Day? Might get a little bit of time in the evening. Friday, back to work, but maybe. The short version is I made absolutely everything to do with this one game that I didn't get for Christmas, and I had to go to extreme lengths to be able to purchase this game, to put it in a pile with all the other games that I don't have the time to play. And at the end of the process, when I finally pressed download, I went, you can download right there, my friend, and you can sit. You are the 3rd game in a trilogy. You can sit next to number 2, which I'm only part way through at this point in time, and can sit in the queue and wait. So, shit sandwich time. I'm going to finish up the stuff from the week with a story about a Christmas gift. Where do I begin? Let's go back a little. Me and Leanne had a conversation. Conversation was around my youngest daughter went to a party, and it was one of these parties where they close the place and they do laser tag. So she went to it. She loved it. She wanted, that was her party. That's going to be her party. She's going to have one of those parties. It was the best. I had a conversation about my middle daughter. I was like, she was supposed to go to one of those parties, but it was a difficult thing to arrange, and I didn't want to leave her in a situation where she was staying in at that party. So she didn't actually get to go, but it would have been good for her. And then it turned into this conversation about how we should all go and do laser tag. It wasn't called laser tag. Laser Quest. That was that. Kind of kept this in mind. Christmas rolls round. I think I'd seen the ones you can buy. You can buy laser. There's usually like a vest with a sensor on, and you get a gun and this. And I was like, oh, it'd be real good. I was talking to Lan about it. I was like, hey, it'd be kind of good, kind of fun, etc. So we kind of started looking. There was all these different types, but for children, these things usually come in packs of 2. We narrowed it down to this one where it was like, it came with a vest with a sensor. It was a 2-pack. The vest sensor needed batteries. The gun needed batteries. Guns needed batteries. And we needed 2 lot. We couldn't find out if they were compatible. If you bought 2 sets, could they be used together? It got real complicated. Also, not the cheapest item. Next thing, Leon's like, look, for this much money we can get this and this and this that we don't know if they're going to work together. And you're looking 8 batteries a set, so you're looking at 16 batteries to get them to work. I was like, fucking hell. But for a little bit more money, and I do mean a little bit more money, we can buy this. It's a set of 4. It's all built into the gun, and they're rechargeable. I'm like, well, how much more money are we talking? She's like, about £9. I was like, just for the sake that there's 4 of them, obviously they all work together kind of thing. I think we just go with that. It's like, right, fine, we'll do that. And that was the end of that. And at some point in time, she was like, oh, the laser guns have turned up, and oh, they look good. And I'm like, ah, yeah, I'm sure. And I knew that they'd been gifted. I knew that they were, being wrapped and being gifted and all that. But honestly, in all the chaos of Christmas Day, I didn't see anybody get them. I didn't make any comment on them. And that was kind of like a lot of things, kind of forgotten. And go back to what I was saying. Statements like that are unfair because they've all been through all of their stuff and they've all enjoyed their things. It's unfair for the older two because of the way things are for them. They don't get the same opportunities as the younger two. Yesterday, all of a sudden, I'm sat where I'm sitting now, and I went, what happened to the laser guns? Someone's like, what? I'm like, laser guns? Laser tag? You got laser tag for Christmas? Where is it? They're like, I don't know. One child's like, it's here. And another was like, that's not laser tag. And then another child's like, oh, I think it's in this bag. And they look in the bag. No, it's not in here. I'm like, you did get laser tag, didn't you? They're like, yeah. I'm like, so where is it then? One's looking in a bag, one's looking on the floor, one's pointing going, it's here. And I'm like, you're just pointing to an empty space. Next thing my youngest daughter's like, it's in this bag. And produces this tiny box. Like, maybe a little more than a foot, sort of, not square, but foot and a half maybe. It's got a handle. And I'm like, I don't think that's it. That's not going to be it. She brings it over. There's 4 guns on the front. I'm like, okay, I was wrong. I'm looking at it and I'm like reading the stuff in the box. And the more I'm reading, I'm like, these things are fucking cool. I was like, what the hell? So I'm reading and I wrote a message to a friend. Let me have a look if I can find it. In fact, it's right here. I was like, I'll tell you the best gift my kids got. It's this, with a picture of the box. And he said, laser tag sounds pretty fun. I was like, okay. They're rechargeable. That is a big, big plus. It's like they've got 5 different gun types. So on the side, there are 5 buttons. There's like handgun, laser gun, shotgun, like a 3-burst machine gun, and then like a machine gun. You can switch between continuous fire or single shot. You've got 4 different guns. You can have 4 different teams if you want. I was like, it's all built into the gun, so there's no need for a vest with a sensor on. You reload them by bumping the underneath of the handle, like basically popping a clip kind of thing. I was like, I'm pretty sure we played for about 3 hours yesterday, and no sign of them running out of power. Not any point did any of them say anything to do with like low battery or anything like that. They light up different colours for the different teams. They have got sound, and so I'm like, okay. And I'm sort of slowly working this out as I'm looking on the box and stuff. Start getting it open. Turn the first one on, it turns on. And it's like, 3, 2, 1, ready. And I'm like, oh, wow, flash. At this point in time, there are 4 of us. Me and 3 children. So, 4 guns, 4 people. No problem. We dish out the guns. And it is on. And we start playing. And then Leanne and my eldest come home. And we're all like, oh, they're coming, shoot them, they're coming through the door. They think it's hilarious. My eldest is like, let me in on this. So she gets involved. And we start rotating guns and stuff. And then there's a point, I don't know if it was like maybe lunchtime or something. My eldest was very much like, I need to get on and do like one of my activity things, and we're like, yeah, absolutely, you definitely should, sort of thing. a little bit late. Oh, where's the guns? So the guns are back out. We're shooting, running around the house, hiding, all this. As the day wears on and it gets a bit darker, there's another point, because I'd put the guns away, and somebody's like, where are the guns? I was like, put them away. I was like, don't put them away. Because it's getting darker, we don't put any lights on in the house, like upstairs in the house. So we're like in the rooms, and the only lights are coming from the guns. Hands down, the coolest gift. The amount of, like, the laughter, the fun, all this. And then, like, towards the end of it, I was like, this is Christmas. This is it. The Grinch was right. I'm sorry to tell this, people, but the Grinch was the good guy. So there we go. An hour and 10 minutes, hour and 9 minutes or whatever. That's Christmas. And there was a moral to the story. Not a lot of watching. I have watched one episode of Tokyo Ghoul Series 3, or it's episode 15. We're on very much into the second part of Series 3, or Series 4, if you want to categorize it like that. A lot of old characters from the original series are returning. The main characters back, which seems a bit weird at this point. Essentially just completely evaporated another character. It's quite odd. One of the good guys / bad guys, however you want to look at it, has also returned. Hasn't been in it up till this point. It does feel a lot like they were like, we're not quite hitting it out of the park, so let's bring back all the old characters, kind of thing. I don't know how I feel about it. Me and Leon decided to sit down and watch the first episode of Twisted Metal. It's had very good reviews. We can get it for free on one of the 8,000 streaming services we've got. We watched the first episode. It was like a 25-minute episode type thing. And it wasn't great. Anthony Mackie is the main person in it. And I think when you hire Anthony Mackie as an actor, you are hiring Anthony Mackie. You're not hiring man to do thing. You're hiring him to be him. And I can only presume that they were like, oh, okay, we want you to be this character in this TV series, but we don't want you to play you. We want you to play somebody very different. And he was like, sure, I can do that. Absolutely no problem. So it feels like the single most unnatural role I think I've ever seen him in. And you're like, this just feels weird. And then you've got like Nev. I always thought it was Neve, but Nev Campbell is in it. But I don't really know how to say it. I don't know if it's like surgery or no surgery, whichever way it is. It's a little strange. You've got, I can't quite remember her name, Stephanie. She was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She seems to be one of the other characters. And I know that Will Arnett does the voice of Sweet Tooth. Not a strong first episode. Not a strong first episode by any stretch. One of those that we watched it and went, ugh. The CG in it is fucking awful. We are both in that camp of, well, we hope this is going to get better because yikes. I said this evening, look, let's just hope it was just a pilot thing and let's hope and pray on that one. I need to very quickly Google something. The new mouse is okay-ish. The prehistoric shark found in a suburban town in Scotland. There you go. That's the BBC News right now. Yeah, it was that. Okay, so my eldest watched the second Matrix film. And I was like, you enjoyed the first one, didn't you? She was like, yeah. I was like, can't promise you're going to enjoy the second one. Matrix Reloaded is what I was just looking up, because I can't remember whether it's that or Revelations or whatever the third one's called. I was like, the first one, it's just an absolute stone cold classic. It's a banger. It's a great movie. It's downhill from there. We don't acknowledge that there is a fourth Matrix movie. And that was kind of where I was coming from. I didn't watch it all. I didn't sit and watch it all, Other Children, etc. But I did watch big chunks of it. And I was like, I'm not going to lie, this is better than I remember it being. I honestly can't tell you what I remember from the third one, other than, spoilers, the end. But the second one was better. When I spoke to her about it, I was like, what do you think? She was like, yeah, you were right, it's not as good as the original. I was like, nah, most things never really are. She was like, it got real talky. I was like, yeah, that sort of after the middle, that back quarter before the end, real talky. But obviously you've got the freeway chase, you've got the fight in the stairs, and the Smith fight. I always found the Smith fight to be ridiculous in that film. The fact that the stunt people that they've got in look nothing like Hugo Weaving is a little bit of a problem. If you look hard enough, you're like, that's not him, that's not him, that's not him. That is him, that's not him. It's just that for far too long. And ultimately, at the end of it, when he realises he can't win this fight, he just flies away. And you go, yeah, he could have done that originally. So there's, it's a bit of a muddly mess. I did say to her, I was like, honestly, I don't think it's going to get much better for you come the third one, because at this point in time, I can't tell you anything that happens in the third one. I don't know if she will happily watch a franchise and just be like, yeah, I'm done with that franchise. Like, yeah, there's like 5 films left in this franchise. She'll be like, yeah, I'm done. She's seen 2 Batman films. She's seen 2 or 3 Bourne movies and been like, yeah, I'm done with that. Like, there are more. Nah, I don't need it anymore. Okay then, fine. I got some VR games. Part of my Christmas gift was some Meta credit. And there's a Meta sale on. And apparently, little did anybody know, Deadpool VR went into the Christmas Meta sale. Now, there was already a Meta sale on, but from Christmas onwards, that sale got beefed up, and Deadpool went in there. Now, I asked for Meta credit for Christmas so I could buy Deadpool VR, and the stars aligned on this one, and I got Deadpool VR. My Oculus Quest 3 headset said, you basically need to delete every single thing on here to be able to download this and install this game. And I went, yeah, sure. And it then went, cool, I'm deleting everything. I was like, no, let me pick, as it deleted all of the stuff I use regularly. I was like, that seems like a design flaw to me. So then I had to go about reinstalling stuff. Anyway, complete aside. Deadpool VR, the game that I didn't think it was. I really didn't want to be disappointed. I really didn't want to be saying, it's not quite like I thought it was going to be. I really didn't want to be like, it's kind of boring. I really didn't want to be in the camp of, honestly, I can see 100 different ways to make this game better. But here we are, I'm afraid. Yes, that's right. I have the bad news of telling you that Deadpool VR is just not the game you think it is. It doesn't even know what it is. Honestly, it's like, I don't know what I am. Am I a shooter? Not really. My shooting mechanic is not great. Guns feel like you would have a better time throwing the gun at your enemy. Am I a hack and slash game? Kind of. In the sense that you've got swords. You can slap enemies with them. Because although as Deadpool you can get your limbs cut off. Like you can lose an arm and watch it grow back. Great. Fantastic effect. Can you cut an enemy's arm off? No. Do you know if your slashes, slices, or hits with swords do any damage? No, not really. You attack a boss. Are you hurting them? Who can say? You got a grapple gun, which means you can grapple to grapple points. That's all I can really say about that. There's an upgrade system. You can upgrade your weapons and your swords and your guns and your grenades and all that fun stuff, but really, what's the point? Doesn't seem to make any difference. So far in, you're told that you have to go and do something else. So you go to a place to do a thing, which turns into a fetch quest, that they make fun of it being a fetch quest. Lots of backwards and forwards with nothing to do, no enemies to fight. Didn't decide to put any enemies in, just go here, pick this up, come back. You've done that. It's taken a long time, but you've done it. You have a boss fight, which quite frankly, no idea whether you're doing well or not, but you do know that you are dying, even though you're Deadpool and you can't die. Okay, well, let's switch things up. Let's make you go to do an arena where you play mini games that are either long and quite boring or, everybody's favourite, really hard and you die multiple times. So there's that. Honestly, believe me when I say this, I wanted to come to you and say, this is a fantastic VR game. It's a wonderful VR game. It's brilliant. It feels so good to play. So much fun. It's so funny. Honestly, every time a cutscene starts, every time a character starts talking, I want to smash my face into literally anything just to make it stop. I just don't care. I just don't care. I have got no time for stories in games. And you can't skip it. Now I am hoping upon hoping that it's going to get better. But honestly, I've played it for a while at this point and it hasn't. And I'm terrified that this is it. Because if this is it, the fuck are people going on about? Disappointment is high right now because you had a character, you had a premise, and you had the opportunity to make a game. And so far, you've heavily dropped the ball. Kind of seeing why it was discounted so quickly after release. Yes, it went into a Christmas sale, and that makes a lot of sense. But as somebody pointed out, it's interesting that it's gone into a sale because the Batman VR game that came out this time last year is still full price and has never gone into a sale. So, take from that what you will. Flight games, I'll very quickly run through a couple of these. DC Universe Online, me and my eldest got another character up to level 30. I did sort of say to her, look, we need to sort of make a real decision on what we're going to do here. We've got a lot of 30 plus level characters, but none of them are really doing anything. I've got a super high level character, but they're such a high level that you can't really do much with them apart from like just, end game content. There's like a real sort of gap between all these different characters. So I said we need to sort of dial that in. I've been playing Sniper Resistance on the Steam Deck. Another one very much like the Deadpool VR game. Really do not understand what's gone wrong with this game. It plays almost nothing like other Sniper Elite games. again, what I would say if I was to give a one-line review is it's not very good. The graphics are poor. The controls seem weak. The fact that they've changed the main character seems like an odd choice. And honestly, it's super lacking as a game. I will say this much. I don't feel like I've played it enough. I did a bit yesterday where I was I'd gone to a church and I was looking for a thing in a church, and for the life of me, I could not find where I was supposed to go. And I just kept killing people left, right, and centre. And there was a point where I was like, I'm going to end up killing all of the enemies in this area before I find the thing I'm supposed to find. And there was a staircase that I'd missed, so that's on me. But it was easy to miss, let's put it like that. Very strange, this one. I need to play it more to get a bit more of a feel for it, but weird is all I can really say about it. Finally, and this is something I alluded to earlier, I got Chronos for the PlayStation for Christmas. Don't worry, I did ask for it. It's a game, it's absolutely hands down game of the year. No question at all, hands down game of the year. But I wanted to play it on the PlayStation. And I got it for the PlayStation and I have started it. It plays real different on the PlayStation. I don't know if that's something to do with them being like, oh, you're not playing it on the PC, so we'll have to change this and change that and change the other. But I don't know how to say this, PC gamers, but it's a little bit better. The music's better. It sounds like you're playing a game like as if you're in the thing. And the enemies look different. They've got like different items of clothing and they're dressed differently. And I'm like, surely that's harder to do. So does that mean the console version's better? Or is it because I played it on a tiny screen on the Steam Deck versus a massive TV? Who knows? What I can say is playing from the beginning, it's not very easy at all, even though this is the fourth time I played it. And something I never really clocked the first time around is you can't upgrade certain things past certain points early on in the game. It just tells you that it's not an option. And everything you see and read and watch videos on says, oh, make sure you upgrade like this thing first. The game won't let you do that. What I will say is that they have put an announcement out saying that they are going to release a difficulty setting for the game and release an easy in early 2026. I will be looking out for that because I'd really like to play it on an easier mode. The only other game I've ever been aware that has done this is the game Vampire. A great game, but it was just far too hard. And they retooled it and gave it a difficulty. They gave it like an easy. And playing it on easy was fantastic because it was easy, like actually quite easy, but made it for a much better gaming experience. So there we go. I'm hoping that you could see what I was trying to do with the early part of the podcast. You can see why it was a bumper edition. Yes, there was a little sort of bait and switch situation going on, but I was just trying to highlight a few things. So there we go. Christmas is done for another year. Roll on New Year. But until then, I'm going to say bye. And I'll catch you next time. So there we go. What do you think of that? Another one done. Another one gone. Big thank you for watching. Big thank you for listening. Big thank you for being here. Before you leave us, do consider clicking the like, share, subscribe. Comment. Drop us a comment. If you see a place where you can leave a comment, leave a comment. Leave us a review. 5-star, obviously, but leave a review. Say how much you enjoyed your time here today. Check out the website, thecookiecast.com. There we have social media links and an email button, and that way you can get in touch with us. And we do want you to get in touch with us. We do. That is it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.
You've just listened to another episode of Cookie Cast. Thanks for listening.